This is not a faraway island. This is a European city. Imagine finishing work and being at the beach in 10 minutes. Palm-lined streets, tapas culture, smiling faces, and the sun seems to have signed a long-term contract here. Maybe this is why Alicante has been ranked the third best city in the world for expats to live in. And after spending time here, it starts to make perfect sense.
Welcome to Alicante. Not only this has been voted one of the best places in the world to live, but in fact this is the third best in Europe. And to understand that, we're going to explore the town center, the vibe in the day and at night, check out the beaches, review the facilities this city offers, and visit a 1,000-year-old fortress overlooking this amazing city.
And we are starting our journey in one of the most photographed locations in the entire city. It's Promenade. Look at that. It's very long with the palm trees on either side, lots of restaurants on this side. All the restaurants are packed. But also, when you look at the floor, it's like a wavy illusion. When you walk, it looks like it's moving with you. And to form this mosaic with the waves, they use 6.5 million tiles to line all the promenade around here. That's beautiful. When we arrived, there were lots of people taking pictures with the promenade in the background, but what catches my eye the most is the amount of restaurants on the side. Look at that. They're all very busy. And then on this side, you have the marina with very nice yachts. It is beautiful. It's giving me a bit of Malaga vibes a little bit because the layout of Malaga city is very similar.
This is definitely a highlight of Alicante city. I absolutely love the palm trees around here. They're actually not native from Alicante or this region. It is one of the driest regions of Europe, but these palm trees were imported in to make it look like an exotic place, and it does bring the whole area, changes the atmosphere. I'm seeing lots of buildings, I'm seeing lots of commercial areas. So it does have a feeling of a city on the beach, creating one of the best work-life balances. Imagine working there, coming down and just heading to the beach. This is probably why it is one of the best places in the world to live. And the weather like that, who can blame? I'm loving the promenade, the cafe culture on the promenade with people sitting outside, enjoying the people watching as well. It's absolutely amazing, but it's time now to go to the beach. There's a beach in the city center right here. We're gonna check that out. But look at that, the view of the castle. This is my first sighting of the fortress right above the town center.
Over there, you have the city life, but then over here, you have more like the resort life. You have the beach. I cannot wait to check it out because, as you know, I grew up at the sea and beaches for me are very important. Wow, look at the color of the water. Very turquoise, similar to what we saw yesterday in Altea. And the sand from here, the sand looks like it's the proper sandy beaches that I love. Wow, but look at that. How many beaches in the world can you go to where you have the city urban style, but then behind there you have this massive fortress overlooking, protecting the city? Wow.
I'm getting butterflies in my stomach because this is so inviting. I'm getting so excited. The water is quite shallow and it's quite calm. Look at the number of people, and today is the 14th of May and 25 degrees. Even for May, if it's that busy, imagine what's going to happen in July and August. But look at that. On that side, you can see those buildings over there. That's Playa San Juan. The reason why Playa San Juan is so popular, it's a very wide beach. So even if it gets busy in July and August, you would still be able to find a spot there. And also it's about 6 to 7 kilometers long. Many beaches on the Mediterranean, they are dark color either, or they are pebbly beaches. This is like the combination of the perfect beaches put right next to the city. It reminds me a little bit of Cadiz beaches that we are so fond of. So it's like beaches of Cadiz on the Mediterranean. What else can you ask for?
First thing first, the sun looks amazing. Finally, a beach that I really love is here. Look at the sun. Very fine, very golden. I love it. This is exactly what I like. And this is exactly like the beaches I grew up in Cadiz. The same texture, the same color is fantastic. Wow. It's very busy here today, and I understand why. This is a beautiful beach. One thing I've noticed that there are no chiringuitos, so that's something I'm used to in Andalusia, that you go to the beach and then you have a drink, you have a cocktail on the sand, in the hammock. That's very, very for me like a beach holiday. But then here, you have some restaurants in the promenade, so you had to get out of the beach, have a drink there, then come back to the beach. But that's good enough, it's not far away. But then the views, this is an urban beach, so this is not a beach you will find in the middle of nowhere surrounded by nature. This is an urban beach, so you will have a few flats in here, but look at that castle over there. That's amazing. That is, in terms of views, just because of the history, the rocks, the city, I give it a 10 out of 10 as well. But now let's check the water. Okay, it's a bit warmer than in Costa del Sol and in Costa de Luz, but not much warmer. It's still cold. Woo! And one thing I really love is that it's sandy. Going in the shore is sandy, there are not many rocks.
I think comparing it to Malaga, I would say there is no comparison. This wins hands down. Malaga beaches, they're nice, they're beautiful, but the sand and the water is no match. This is probably one of the main contributors of the factors that makes Alicante one of the best places in the world to live. Next time when we are thinking of vacation in Spain, we will be definitely thinking about Alicante very highly.
Around 700,000 people live in the metropolitan area of Alicante. Half of that, 350,000 people, live in the city itself, and around 27% of them are foreign-born, including countries like UK, Colombia, Morocco, Ukraine, Russia, Netherlands, Belgium. But now Alicante is getting a lot of attention, especially from countries outside the EU, in Canada, America, Latin America, because together with Malaga, Valencia, Alicante is a very desirable city, like we mentioned at the beginning, because of the lifestyle, the beach style, the history, the life-door living that we have here in Spain. We're going to explore a bit more of the town center now because it's very inviting, and we're going to give you more reasons as to why this city is so desirable around the world.
Alicante city has a great vibe. You see cafe culture throughout the city center, and you have beautiful restaurants, rock cafe, jazz bars, and it also has a great nightlife as well. It's a very modern city, but the history of Alicante goes back 2,000 years when Iberian local people established this place. Then the Romans came. Romans called this place Lucentum, meaning the city of light, straight out of Harry Potter. Around 8th century, the Moors took over Iberian Peninsula, and they called this place Alicante. Around Reconquista time, the Christian kings, 13th century, took it from the Moors, and over time this place evolved its name from Alicante to be known as Alicante today. Wow, I can hear bells ringing from every corner, echoing from the city, and it's probably coming from the Basilica, which is right around the corner, and we are going to show you that. Wow, look at the architecture right in front. This is so beautiful. I love the architecture in Spanish city centers. Malaga has amazing. Madrid, you can't beat that. Barcelona, the Bari Gothic. Everywhere you go in the Spanish cities, they have a unique architecture, and each one is so beautiful. Where are the bells coming from? It feels like it's coming from there, but the Basilica is there.
Wow. You can see the tower clock over there, the arches. It's beautiful. There are a few bars in here as well with terraces. Actually, this is giving me like a very medieval feeling. That is the city hall. It dates back to the 18th century, and it's a Spanish Baroque style, and Everyone around it looks like it's taking you back in time. It's beautiful. Oh, I really want to head there. Look at that, the archway. Everywhere I look, I say, I don't know where to go. It's beautiful. Look at that. Wow. And now it's a bit of color. But look at that. You can see a bit of the fortress over there, like the road heading to it. Spain is so much diversity here. If you go to the south, you're gonna see different architecture, but then they all retain the same soul, the Spanish lifestyle. It revolves of being outdoors, in plazas, in squares. So the architecture might be different, the colors of the buildings might be different, but the soul, it remains the same.
The city centre life so far has quite impressed me because the feeling I'm getting from this city is that the architecture is grand here. Everything is big blocks and it's like proper city kind of architecture. But the feeling inside, walking around the city, is very calm, it's very relaxed. It's a great mix of big city vibe and beach vibes. As you can see, we're going up the hill. It's time to check out the most beautiful emblem of this city, the fortress right on top of the hill.
And this is something Arslan and I, we are very used to because Spanish cities are very clean. You don't see any litter on the ground. And it comes across as the locals are very proud of Alicante. They love the place to live. And it's showing the way they're looking after their city. Around 15 minutes walk from here, you have the beach. Then 5 minutes after that, you have Baroque style buildings. And now, suddenly, we come to this village style living. Look at the houses. This is now bringing me back to Andalusia with the white walls, with the mosaics. Okay, we have a few more steps to go, up. But who cares that you're gonna burn lots of calories? I know it's a bit of work, but then look at the beauty around you.
Stunning views in the back. Probably choose a better timing. Not in the peak of the afternoon like we are doing, especially if you're coming in summer. Ideal time to go is around in the morning or late in the afternoon. But good thing is that there's no charge to enter this castle, this fortress. So whenever you have free time, pop over. Oh wow, look at this. Las mosquetas azules. Beautiful. You donate your coins for the upkeep of these beautiful plants. Oh, that's such a lovely little area. Oh, just look at that. Wow. It's like an infinity park. Rather than infinity pool, you have infinity park. Look at that. There's so much to see in this city. Just by walking to the castle, we came across a lovely village and this beautiful park. What else is there to explore, to find?
Wow, we were just there walking through the streets over here. You can see the size of the city. We have also been told that there is a lift service. So if you want to use the lift service to go all the way up, it's approximately €1.45.
I can imagine taking myself back centuries ago, thousands of years, well, 1,000 years ago. How did they first of all get all the material up here on the hill? This is the first courtyard. Let's have a look at the views from that corner and then we go into the castle itself. Alicante does look like it has lots of nature surrounding it. So if you're into adventures, there are several waterfalls, hikes, and several things to do, not to mention sea activities.
We are approximately 166 meters above sea level. And as you know, most of southern Spain was ruled by the Moors for centuries. And this dates back to the 9th century. And the name of Santa Barbara comes from 1248, when the Christian forces captured the castle, and they named it Santa Barbara because on that day it was the feast of Saint Barbara. We have just learned that the lift that takes you all the way up here is just opposite the beach. We were looking for it because we were under the impression it was in the town centre. But once you take it from the sea level, it takes you all the way up here. We should have done that. But like I said, if we would have taken the lift, we would have seen all the beautiful places we have discovered by getting lost.
The fortress has 3 levels, each representing its history, different levels of history. The top part was built first by the Moors, the middle part was built by the Spanish kingdoms, and the lower part was used to store the artillery. This castle or the fortress has been fought fiercely over time. During the 1700 Spanish Succession Wars, this was fought fiercely for the importance of the port, and 1844, these castle walls were used to hang the rebels, and that became the part of Alicante's history.
Earlier on, we were at that beach, and look how high we are right now. Of course, I would choose this point as an advantage point to control what's coming in and out, because you have basically one of the highest viewing points we've been to in all Spain.
Wow, such stunning place, and it's been kept in such a great condition as well. And the views are fantastic, the history is involved as well. All of that for free, I cannot believe that, because we go to different places in Spain, and especially around Malaga, Marbella area, Fortress, Alcazaba. You have to pay quite a hefty fee to get in. And this is the actual entrance of the castle. Okay, very nicely kept. You have courtyards here, beautiful. The whole area is really beautiful, and there's one more level to go, but let's explore this part here. I'm in the need of a drink, so let's get that and then we go further up. There's so much to explore in this fortress. There are walls, people walking on the top of that, and there are rooms over there, and there are little places here, and there's a massive room over there. I can see why they call it the biggest fortress in all of Spain.
I could easily see myself living here, going to the beach with my friends, then going for a walk, going to one of the many cafes they have here, surrounded by beautiful architecture, lovely parks. Now I understand why Alicante is one of the top 3 destinations in Spain to live, and one of the top ones in the world as well. It's stunning, and it feels very safe as well. No one has met weird looks, everyone is so friendly, everybody's just happy. It's a very happy and positive energy and vibe around here. And as you know, Asam and I, we love to get lost. We don't really follow a map. We just park the car in one place and then we just wander around, discover hidden gems. And this place is a beautiful place to get lost in.
What a lovely vibe this area has, but this was never like this. This was actually a very rundown area, and then the mayor actually invested some money and put these mushrooms over here. This is Calle de las Setas, the street of the mushrooms. First, people were amazed that why would somebody make such kind of structure and waste money? But then so many people started coming to these mushrooms that their business started to prosper, and people started opening more shops, more boutiques, more restaurants, more cafes. That has brought a lot of money in this area and gentrified the area, and now people are thankful for this investment that they did and turning this area into such a beautiful, lovely place that we see today.
In my opinion, it makes it look a bit of Alice in Wonderland, because the color of the buildings, you see the flowers, then you see the mushrooms here. It's beautiful, and let's be honest, having here a tapa, having a tinto de verano, or meeting your friends and family surrounded by this beautiful architecture and these mushrooms, is something you will always remember.
I am in shock. I've just spotted a estate agent and I stopped by the window to see the prices. And oh my God, come here. Let's show you the good ones actually. In the city center of Alicante. Modern refurbished apartment, 2 bedrooms, not big, 66 meters squares, but 330,000 euros in the city center, completely refurbished. Over here you have 369,000, 3-bedroom apartment. And again in the city center, 219,000, 459,000. This one is slightly more expensive, but it's much bigger as well. And over here you have a house, 2-bedroom house, 235,000 euros. And coming from Marbella, Estepona area, looking at these prices for such a beautiful city. And if I'm following the trends that I've been seeing in Estepona, Marbella, Malaga area, these prices are going to double in the next 5 years. Such a beautiful city with such beautiful squares and streets all around city center. And that makes me wonder, living here with the prices like that, what's it like getting around? So first of all, let's talk about the airport. Alicante Airport is one of the busiest airports in Spain. It handles about 15 to 16 million passengers yearly. And in terms of the connections, it connects to most of the Northern European destinations. So most of the Europe actually is connected with Alicante within 2 to 3 hours flight. And then we can talk about the rail links. Alicante is actually connected with Spain's high-speed rail network. It goes to Madrid just around 2 hours, which is great because Madrid is a great connection to go to different destinations around the world. On top of that, it's also connected with Valencia, Barcelona, and even Cordoba. And then let's talk about getting around within the city center. It also has a metro system, which has few lines and goes around the city quite easily. It's a tram line, it goes underground throughout the city. But the most important point is that there's a line which goes from Alicante all the way to Benidorm, Altea, on the coast, making it one of the most scenic rides, coastal journeys in Spain.
Like any big city, you will find a lot of activities to do here in Alicante. Of course, we have gone to the castle, we have gone to the beach, but you will also find museums, shopping centers, lots of cafes, lots of restaurants. You will be able to do boat trips, excursions, and within 30 minutes you have Benidorm, which is the capital of tourism of Spain. And there you will do lots of parties. There is a theme park, there is a water park, all within 30 to 40 minutes drive. And it's not just for the tourists, it's for the locals. So if you decide to live here, you will have a lovely time. We've done a lot of walking in the beautiful city of Alicante, and we were really hungry. And I really wanted to try the rice. And we passed by this restaurant and it had a few pictures of rice menu. And we sat down and we looked at the menu. They have a huge variety with chicken, with fish, vegetables, with bull meat as well, but we've gone for rice with chicken. Earlier on I mentioned that this region is famous for the paella. Paella comes from Valencia, but the whole region of Valencia is very famous for the rice. So we couldn't leave Alicante without trying the rice. I know it's a bit late, but I know it's not going to disappoint us. We are surrounded by beautiful atmosphere. There's live music going on over there. There's a huge terrace with seats outdoors. This is the typical lifestyle in Spain, eating outdoors and enjoying the lovely weather this city has to offer.
It is a lovely vibe in this area. Everybody is sitting in this street with buildings around it, long street with all the umbrellas. Everybody's sitting al fresco dining. It is amazing. I can hear the chatter all around, this live music going on. It's an authentic Spanish atmosphere. I'm just surprised about the size of the tray. It looks amazing. Not only looks amazing, it's got lovely smell coming out. I wasn't too sure about taking rice today, eating rice today, but then when they brought this tray here and I'm smelling the whole flavors, it's absolutely stunning. So let's just dig right in. There's peppers, right? These are. Okay, that's rice and that's chicken. Time to try and see what's like. Okay, very hungry. It is lovely. I have eaten quite a few paellas. This is not paella, by the way. That's why it tastes slightly different as well. Very similar, but it's got aromatic flavor and I'm loving it. This is really nice. We have slayed that right dish. It was so beautifully done. The crispy bottom and the peppers, there were sweet peppers in there. It just complemented so well. And thinking about the location, it's not a bad price either. It's about 20 euros per head for such a beautiful dish. And the atmosphere, it was well worth it.
Around the cathedral, you will find the nightlife of Alicante. And for a Thursday night, it's very busy. The number of bars and pubs available, huge. And what I like the most is it's a very good vibe, a good atmosphere. You see couples walking around, you see families walking around, you see the friends and family just having a drink. It's beautiful. And in a lovely setting, because you're surrounded by lovely architecture, right next to the cathedral. Beautiful. So just over there, look at that. You can see the fortress we were earlier on. It's not very illuminated at night, but it's still beautiful. You can still see it. Wow. Now, more and more, the longer we stay here in Alicante, the more I'm understanding why this city has been chosen as one of the top ones, because it's a complete package. Beaches, check. Activities to do, checked. Nightlife, check. Safety, check. Good weather, checked. Good food, checked. This is a beautiful place, not just to live, but to visit. And then if you're tired of being here because it might be a bit too busy or you had too much to drink, you can go for a walk on the promenade and you can put your feet in the water and just unwind. Look at that, I always say it, that coming here at night, it changes the whole vibe, the whole atmosphere. It is beautiful in the day, but it's also very beautiful at night. It's almost 11 o'clock at night, and you still see a lot of people having dinners, having paellas, having rice. It's beautiful. And that's the thing that, as you know, Asam and I, we lived in the UK for 18 years. And if you walk around the city of central London at 11 o'clock at night on a Thursday night, this is not the vibe you're gonna see. It's completely different. Here, there are people still having dinner, people having ice cream, people walking on the beach, people just going for a stroll with their families. You even see little ones walking around at this time at night. That shows you how safe this place is. Now we had a lovely meal. You know we like to walk it off with a nice little walk in the promenade. And the city comes to life at night as well with all the lights, people going for a stroll with their friends and family. Lovely atmosphere. It's not a party part. I don't really hear much music going on. It's just people going for walks, relaxing, and going for a meal, going for an ice cream, going for desserts. It's beautiful. And also, it feels very safe because many people think, oh, when the night comes, that's when, it becomes more dangerous, it's a bit more unsafe. We feel completely safe, and we have been walking around for a good half an hour after having food, and it feels extremely safe. Also, it's a Thursday night, so for a Thursday night at 10 o'clock at night, it's quite busy. At the weekend on a Saturday night, it might be a lot busier than it is today. But what I can hear right now is lots of people on holidays, lots of young people with their friends on holidays here, and everybody's in a very good mood, happy mood. Everyone is laughing, everyone is smiling. I love the atmosphere here.
We are back at the beach because we loved it so much in the daytime, so we thought it would be nice to come back and see the vibe in the evening. And what I can see is that, first of all, it's lit up, so that's why there are still people here, even for our Thursday night. And all around it is lovely atmosphere. Whoops, water. All around it is lovely atmosphere. There are a few restaurants here on this side and the hotel side as well, and there are kids playing. I can hear music coming from this side and also from that side. I won't imagine there are people in the water, but there are some people playing volleyball on that side. But overall, thinking about it, it's a lovely time to come here as well, just to relax, chill out. And the weather is still holding up nice. I think it's still above 20 degrees. And that's why you see people wearing shorts and just walking around bare feet on the beach. Alicante has proven to be a beautiful city, an amazing city with great vibe. It's a mid-sized city. It's not a big city that you get overwhelmed. It's not even a small city that it doesn't have all the facilities for sometimes you want to go out or you want to do things. It is kind of like a perfect city, medium size. It has everything you need but it's not hectic, it's relaxing, it's got amazing beach. That is, for me, the best part of the city has been the beautiful beach. We have had an amazing day in Alicante. It has exceeded every expectation of ours. And if you're visiting Costa Blanca, we would highly recommend you to stop in Alicante. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week from another great location. Hasta luego.